Hi, good afternoon. How you doing? It's Jim. It's Friday. We're nearly there. The weekend is upon us. Almost. Now, I did say on my previous video, which you may or may not have seen, which was Ren with his band The Big Push doing a cover of War Pigs by Black Sabbath, that I had one more video that I wanted to do today. And this is one of my occasional talking about records videos. And this is an A to Z of bands that I've not featured or talked about or listened to on the channel, I think. Now, I selected all these earlier on, and I've got a big old pile here. There is one record missing, because I can't find it. So we have 25 albums, and unbelievably, I cannot find what's happened to it. So you'll realise when we get there. So these are all records which I love dearly, but I haven't played on the channel, and I don't think we've listened to on the channel. So here we go. First up, AC/DC, If You Want Blood, the live album with Bon Scott on it. Absolutely phenomenally good, energetic, incredible, just brilliant live album with Bon Scott at the height of his powers. Don't know it, get it, listen to it. It's fantastic. Number 2, Bomb the Bass. This is Unknown Territory. So I had this on cassette when I was much, much younger, in the 80s. I think of late 80s, early 90s. It's got a track on it called Winter in July, which is just beautiful. And it's got some incredible electronica stuff on here. Just really cool, groovy stuff. Anyway, yeah. Was it Bomb the Bass? I can't even remember. Bomb the Bass, Unknown Territory. C, Love by The Cult. Oh, man. I think I probably have talked about The Cult before. And I think on my channel intro, I have some Cult playing. But we've not listened to an album on the channel. I listened to Brother Wolf's Sister Moon, actually from this record. Oh, I have lied, haven't I? So I did. I listened to that 5 years ago on the channel, but not a sausage since, so I think we can get away with that. D, Dream Theater. So we've listened to OCTAVARIUM, which is one song from this album. This is OCTAVARIUM. This is my favourite Dream Theater album to date. I love this very, very much indeed. Massive reminders of Muse on here, if that's your thing. But this is cool. Now, what I'm saying is these are not all particularly necessarily my favourite albums or best albums, but they're just interesting ones to have a talk about. Next one is a case in point. This is Ed Wynne. He's the front person, guitarist, keyboard player, and everything else of Ozric Tentacles. And this is his first solo album, Shimmer Into Nature, which came out a couple of years ago. I did try to do this on the channel, but it got blocked. One of those very many annoying occasions where music gets blocked. But no, worth checking out. It's very much like Ozric Tentacles, unsurprisingly, because he kind of is Ozric Tentacles. But there you go. F is Funkadelic, Maggot Brain. One of the greatest guitar solos in history on this record. That's all we'll say. G is GOJIRA, Fortitude. This is their album that came out most recently. I think it was last year, 21. So yes, just over a year and a bit ago. Fantastic record. G, H, HIDRIA Space Folk. Very trippy, very Ozric-y, just very. I think this is Finnish. I think this comes from Finland, but it's just fantastic. Album called Symbiosis. I've played this on my radio show, but I don't think we've listened to this on the channel. Now, you might all think I'm going to go for Iron Maiden, but I'm not. I've talked about them way too much on the channel, and we've listened to lots of other eyes on the channel. We've listened to Igor. We've listened to what did we have the other day? Isis. Goodness knows what else. What we've not listened to is Interstellar. This is the soundtrack for the film Interstellar, which came out a few years ago. phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. Hans Zimmer, genius, absolute genius. So what's that? H-I-J. Julian Cope. He was the main man, front man for The Teardrop Explodes. This is one of his albums called My Nation Underground. He had another record called St. Julian. Both really, really cool. This just takes me back to the 80s and music I was listening to in about 1986, 87, 88. Love this record. Love it a lot. It's not proggy. It's not metal. But it's, to Teardrop Explodes, you kind of know what it's going to be like. Okay, I've just made a mistake because I know we've played this. We played this at the beginning of this year. This is Khan, Space Shanty. Oops. I'll gloss over that. Hope you didn't notice. Lazuli. Now, Lazuli we have played on the channel, but we haven't played an album. And this is just fantastic. French prog. This album is called Le Fantastique Envol de Daterbom. Yes, I know. And no, I don't know. But it's brilliant music. M. Sketches from Spain by Miles Davis. I've had a bit of Miles on the channel. I don't think we've listened to this. This is he is revered as one of the greatest recording musicians of all time for a reason. This is as good a place to go as any. I might play this soon. I love it. Right, M means we get to N. Now, this is Nick Mason. Nick Mason's Saucerful of Secrets. This is a live recording from the Roundhouse. It is all the early Pink Floyd stuff from the really, really early stuff that they don't really do anymore. So this is superb, absolutely superb. So we've got Interstellar Overdrive, Astronomy Domine, Obscured by Clouds, Saucerful of Secrets, One of These Days, CMLE Play, all those beautiful old tracks. Although, of course, One of These Days is still was still played. Arnold Lane, of course. O comes to the Orb. Now, I don't think we've had this on the channel. We've had UF Orb. No, this is UF Orb. We've had Orb's Adventures Beyond the Ultraworld. But this is UF Orb. Love this band so much. So much. Just takes me back to the 90s. Amazing chill out ambient house music. Fantastic. We're whistling through this. We're up to 8 minutes. O means P. This could have been any record by this band, but in the end, I've gone for Outlandos d'Amour by The Police. Pretty much because it's got Roxanne on it. Another amazing band. Well lauded. People do like them. They're not an obscure band by any stretch, and but it's just a band that we've not talked about on the channel. Now, what cue could we have? It's Queen. Never had a single track from Queen on the channel, and that's not a deliberate thing. It's just kind of not happened for some reason. This is superb. Live killers. I remember this from my school days, sitting around friends' houses listening to this record. Particularly, there's a couple of things on here. Now I'm Here and Brighton Rock were these two extended amazing things. But this just is such a good record. QR. I've talked about but not played. Radiohead. This is Kid A. Could have pretty much gone for almost any Radiohead album. OK Computer was a massive departure, complete change from the Bends. And then came Kid A, which was, again, another change. So this is taking that OK Computer thing and just taking it to the next level. And we went to Amnesiac after that, and then again, another band which is rightly lauded for being fantastic. S. This is Simple. There's quite a lot of live records here, isn't there? This is Simple Minds. Live in the City of Light. One of my favourite live records ever, this. I think it's not entirely live. I think there's overdubs on here. But still, love this. Absolutely love this. We've never had any Simple Minds on the channel. We might do. But this is just a little whistle-stop tour through some records of mine. T. Tears for Fears. Seeds of Love. Sowing the Seeds of Love was such an incredible song. It made a massive impact and impression on me as a kid when that came out. And I never had this on record. I had it on tape, I think. I now have it on record because it is truly a fantastic record that I love with much passion. T means you. U means Underworld. Second toughest in the infants. This is one of the greatest electronic dance records ever made. This is up there with Rhythm and Stealth by Leftfield. And it is absolutely just great from start to finish. It's music you can listen to, not just dance to. And I love it with a passion ever since I first heard it. It's just incredible. I highly recommend this. V is for the Velvet Underground. This is a record called Loaded. I know people talk about Nico as probably their favourites. This is the one for me. This is just every single track on here is superb. Who Loves the Sun, Sweet Jane, Rock and Roll, Cool It Down, Head Held High, Lonesome Cowboy Bill, Oh Sweet Nuttin'. It's just superb. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous record. W means Whitesnake. Again, live. Whitesnake, live in the heart of the city. I sound like Tommy Vance there. Live in the heart of the city, Tommy Vance. No, so this is recorded. So one of it is live in the heart of the city, and the other bit is live at Hammersmith. I'm not sure what heart of the city is, but I know what Hammersmith is. Did it tell us? No, probably does. But Whitesnake, you know, one of those bands that came out of Deep Purple, carrying on the same aesthetic, if you will. Love it. Absolutely superb record. So W, we now get to the missing record. It should have been XTC. I've lost it. So we have to jump over X and move to Y. There's been a lot of Y featured on the channel, an awful lot of Y, but it ain't going to be that because we can't talk about it. We're talking about Yellow. This is, you've got to say yes to a, no, it's not. This is Stella. I was going to say, you've got to say yes to Another Excess, which is a different one. This is Stella by Yellow. Vicious Games, Desire, and of course, Oh Yeah. That most famous track of theirs. This is such a good record. I mean, Yellow is an amazing band as well. Why? One letter left. Now, I almost put on ZZ Top, but I'm not going to. I'm going to pull out something completely random from the bag. This is Zodiac MINDWARP and the Love Reaction. Tattooed Beat Messiah. I have not listened to this for 35 years. I bought this primarily because of the first song on here, Prime Mover, which was a huge hit for them, certainly in the UK. And I absolutely loved it. and I kind of remember the rest of this, but I can't remember it now. But I might have to listen to this again. But this is it's pretty corny and cheesy, but actually I loved it. This is just a great childhood memory of mine from the mid 80s. So there we go. Without an X, it is pretty much an A to Z of incredible music that we just don't talk about on the channel. Now, is there anything in there that you think we should be talking about, should be featuring? Let me know, put it in the comments, and perhaps we'll have one of those coming up soon. But there we go. That's another little short video for Friday, and I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll see you all in the next video, whenever and whatever that is. And until then, this is Jim, over and